best of health, there will be prayer, power, peace, patience, and prosperity. There is a term that is being kicked around or expressed when it comes to crime, juvenile crime. As the face that is on it within a certain locale would be people of a darker hue. First of all, I would say that we live in a word oppressive environment. People say sticks and stones will break our bones, but words will never hurt. And words do hurt people, because words or language, one of the two makes us who we are. Words, language. Al Manzou said you could teach people other languages, but you can't teach them how to govern that. They must learn for themselves. There is a clear distinction there. I often said that we cannot make any excuses that when people say we're a product of the environment, we're a product of the decisions that we make. I'm not saying the environment does not play a part, but you get to a point where it's about the decision. The decision creates the environment that one makes. I often say we're born in condition, placed in a situation, surrounded by circumstances, consequently due to some previous activity that has taken place. Further substantiate my case. And my case, basis of my case is that many in society suffer from SDLD, a social disorder, learning disability, where's that bad behavior that's being rewarded. Not only that, it deals with aesthetics. People want external therapy without internal clarity. Yes. And I say society is under social reconstruction where our feelings are becoming desensitized, our thoughts demoralized, our attitude dehumanized, our language devitalized, and our activities become destabilized, so we denote a spirit of apathy. Not to mention there is a term called cognitive dissonance as well, when one's core values are being challenged. For me, I have 3 values: core values, opportunity, expression, and appreciation. Because we have an opportunity to express appreciation for this life existence. When you offer people false hope, it creates fatalities. You promise something that you are unable to come through on. So the biggest crime you can commit is fraud. Let's substantiate that. I don't know what type of secretary that this particular gentleman is in. What type of secretary he holds. Maybe secretary of maybe the United States, possibly. We were talking about juvenile crime. He was saying that they shouldn't be interacting or charged as an adult until the age of, I'm paraphrasing, maybe the age of 25. And scientists say that if I may use the word scientist, but study shows that from the age of 25, that the brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. That's how it goes. So if anyone is participating in any consumption or as far as drugs goes, it affects the natural progression or development of the brain. Well, no one ever factor in that when one living in a society and a culture where there's political manipulation, exploitation, economic exploitation, social degradation, and religious misindoctrination, that also too affects the development of the brain of the child. Yes. Not only that, when you talk about propaganda, misinformation also does that as well. So what is the point in all this here now? The gentleman said that he said that it will become. I think I wrote down what he said. He says, if they are in a prison system and being challenged as an adult, that they will become worse criminals. Well, it's almost a slap in the face, and even an insult to those who are incarcerated. As it pertains to, there are those who can be rehabilitated and can be redeemed. Now, we know that in the halls of Congress, that majority decisions are made military decisions. But I'm just saying this is really business. But he says it will be a social service problem if they end there, not a juvenile problem. I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember exactly what he says. Let me see what my glasses has on here. You see, I may have wrote it down. I couldn't misquote it. Rather than a juvenile problem. Yes. I think that's what he said. So, what that says to me. I always say that the battlegrounds is ideological and the war is psychological. So it is the ideology. Ideology is a system that is in place. Dr. King says, should we eradicate the beggar, or should we get mad at the beggar, or should we eradicate the system that produces the beggar? So what this gentleman is talking is in forked tongue. He is just as exposed himself and saying that it would be a social service problem if they are in the trial as an adult and they are in the penal system, being charged as an adult before the age of 25. He just exposed himself or the system. That is a social service problem. It is a social problem. That's what it is, a social problem. And a social problem is based upon a system or an ideology of a system that is in place. That's producing this type of stuff. You're producing this behavior, producing this mentality. So that which is killing people is resistance to change. Even if you look at the word disease, it must be a business term. You got to figure out something that the people who behind the scenes, whatever you want to call them, they have to figure out something that they can build, that they can make money off of. So it's business, man. It's business. Hey, we live in a capitalist society. So it is a social problem. He said it. So it would be more of a social problem if they were tried as an adult or in the penal system, and they interacting with older adults. They would become, which is an insult. Figure out more ways to become, criminal. And I said the biggest crime you commit is fraud. So it says that the system itself is a fraud. Once again, he just exposed himself. Just exposed the influence of the society that it has on him in his thinking. I always say planet Earth is a sociological structure where there's inclusions and exclusions. I've often said that social stress leads to mental pain, and mental pain leads to physical harm. It's social. It's a social health problem. And that social health problem deals with a system or an ideology of a system that perpetuates and promotes fraudulent behavior and reward that behavior. People who even can do heinous crimes can be glamorized. It's almost like someone that is addicted to the glamour of drug use. And drug use is a behavior. So I say that the solution, I believe it was John Africa, said that the solution is the absence of the problem. There was some statement that is made by the problem is not the problem, but the attitude that you have about the problem is the problem. The attitude. It is a mentality. You can tell the collective psychology of one's mentality by what he or she produces. That's social. That's a social problem. You can deal with interpersonal skills, interaction skills, whatever you want to put in there. It's social. Well, I said that there is something called the maturation process. And the maturation process goes as this. First, you got to have an understanding. Out of understanding comes consciousness. And nature comes to awaken our consciousness as a result. We should be aware of this. I believe it was shared by Brother Imam Muhammad Muhammad. He also said that we're born with the same faculties and the same consciousness. The difference is the manner in which we use it. And that which is eternal is consciousness. You know, when the eagle builds a nest, is made of feathers, or a bird builds a nest for that which has been produced at an early age, then it turns to sticks. It's time to go. Biologically proven that even when we are coming through our mother's stomach and her womb, that space becomes insufficient for us or inadequate for us. So we got to come out of it. We got to come out of this primitive mentality, this primitive thinking, and therefore at least the primitive behavior. So, understanding. As a result of understanding, the result is to restore social credibility, because I've often said that society is under social reconstruction where our feelings are becoming desensitized, our thoughts demoralized, our attitude dehumanized, and our communication devitalized, and our activity destabilized. This is nothing that I have learned in any penal system. This is something that I have studied, come to observe, and come to experience. So, credibility needs to be restored. And then the tolerance level. And that may deal with capacity training. The first, when it comes to understanding, you must approach it progressively. Be very progressive. I think there was a athlete, Walter Payton, bless his soul, that he wanted to get to the point before the other tackler get to that point, so that the impact would be stronger on the other individual, rather. It would be less on him. Yes. So we got to be very progressive. Approach that in restoring social credibility. It got to be a progressive approach. The next approach on the tolerance is universal. It's universal. Because we're universal people. And that is to readdress social diversity. We are all diverse people. There's more than each and every one of us to meet the eye. We have to stop painting a broad brush as if everybody is the same. And everybody is not the same. We live in a single family home on this plane of existence. The sky is the ceiling, and this earth is our home. The earth is the home, which really indicates that we should be grounded. All of our beginnings are humble, because it was not guaranteed that any of us would make it through our mother's womb. But that's why we should reverence that which gave us birth. Hear me good. That's all right. Hear me good. The next is temperament/temperament. And that needs to be approached holistically, because that is to revive social coherency, to be more coherent, cognizant, clear, consistent, logical. To revive social coherency. The next approach is comprehensive. We go comprehensive. Be very comprehensive. And when you approach it comprehensive, it will revise, no, it will replenish social continuity, the constant flow. Constant flow of energy. Constant flow of what? And learning how to cooperate one another. People always want to be competitive. Hey, man, we have all the organization in the world, but it's no good without cooperation. So let us learn to cooperate with one another. And create that constant flow of that synergy of energy. And finally, the approach is conscientious. Yes. There are people who fought against the war. Conscientious objective. And I say, let your conscience be your what? Be your guide. And that's when you reclaim social solidarity. See. Now, understanding, tolerance, temperance/temperament. The temperance/temperament is the bridge builder. The temperance connect with the self-control of the attitude. The temperance connects with the tolerance and understanding, and the temperament of the attitude connects with the confidence and then the respect. The maturation process: understanding, tolerance, temperance/temperament, confidence, and respect. The approach: progressive, universal, holistic, comprehensive, and conscientious. The end result is to restore social credibility, readdress social diversity, move from a persecuted minority to a privileged majority. There will be no need for low self-esteem if we hold each other in high esteem. The end result is to revise social coherency. The end result is replenish social continuity. And the final one is to reclaim social solidarity. The task of this progressive approach is the end result would be restoring social credibility. The effort to this universal approach, end result will be readdressing social diversity. Yes, the effort is be readdressing social diversity. The holistic approach is the task effort, is the time. The time must be economized, is to revise social coherency, give a new way of thinking about economy. The fourth component of the maturation process, the approach, is comprehensive, and that is the energy. It must be synergized to replenish the social continuity of our confidence and cooperating with each other. And finally, the nature. One young brother talk about nurturing that nature. The end result is to reclaim social solidarity. That is synchronistic, which means that all the factions are coming into the house, reverencing all. So we have the tags, the effort, the time, the energy, and the nature. The task must be synchronized. The effort must be synthesized. The time must be economized. The energy must be synergized. And the nature is syncretism, which means we have reverence for all. Until next time. Redmond Wally Kevin, teachers of teachers, preachers of preachers, when it comes to reverence from the heart. The mandate, when it comes to common humanity mission, is to promote the value of self-worth. Worth is in the degree, but the value is unlimited in each and every one of us. The motto is to communicate with precision a clearer image to the world of understanding, tolerance, temperament, confidence, and respect. The mandate is to cultivate the potential of knowledge that is in us all. That's a cultivation system. 5 things that is to be done to strengthen the bond with yourselves and each other is to inform yourself, to enlighten yourself, to encourage yourself, to inspire yourself, and to empower yourself as we inform each other, as we enlighten each other, as we encourage each other, as we inspire each other, and as we enlighten or empower each other. I may have missed one another. Oneness is stronger than conflict, and unity is stronger than diversity. We all come from one single cell. Until next time.